Culture and Leadership Program Phase 1 tools look at your organization through 5 cultural elements at all levels.
The culture focus groups or culture conversations aim to explore your colleagues' perceptions of the organisation's culture at each level and across each of the 5 cultural elements. There are a selection of prompt questions designed to support focus group facilitators in exploring each of these areas. We recommend the focus groups are run after the analysis of the behaviour survey. This will ensure you're able to explore in-depth areas highlighted by both colleagues and partner organisations.
You should target your focus groups to ensure participation from a broad range of people from across your organisation who may not engage with the other tools. This will help ensure diverse representation. Your focus groups should also allow colleagues to discuss their experiences of your organisation's culture and leadership in a safe space, so thought should be given to the demographics of the focus group. Consider your colleagues' shift patterns and different sites to ensure fair access to focus groups.
Focus groups don't all work in the same way. You should amend your prompt questions to ensure they suit your participants and organisation. Give thought to how you will capture the experiences shared in these sessions and gain consent to share individual stories.
The culture focus groups can be a powerful intervention in their own right. They send a strong message about the kind of culture the organisation is moving towards.
For an example of how to present the data, use the report template that can be found online.
Your change team lead for this tool should then, with others, present the findings at your synthesis session.
I was really pleased to be able to be involved in the focus groups. I've got a community and partnership background, so for me, I was really used to doing consultation and I could see the impact that that has. And I was really grateful to be able to go out and meet some operational colleagues because I actually don't work operationally. So for me, it was a great chance to learn about other people, what their daily lives are like working within the trust, and to also meet and make lots of new friends.
From my experience, it was my manager that put me forward for the cultural leadership team, and it was a good opportunity to see obviously what the feedback was going to come through as in terms of what the trust is feeling and thinking at the time. And it was a good opportunity for us to make some new friends. We've learned how to share resources, to see how people were feeling and thinking within the trust, because I feel that they've had feedback before and doing just another survey, and that's a lot of how it was coming across. So for us to do the focus groups and to get that rich feedback that we needed, to get that data to see how exactly people were feeling was just priceless, really.
For me, I was quite overwhelmed with people's positivity and enthusiasm to want to take part, because I think it was the way we actually approached it, and we actually said you are going to be listened to and things will happen, and just taking that softer approach and giving that reassurance that actually made people speak out and be open, and they did feel that it was in confidence as well, because we did do that. We did say, you know, we're not putting names, departments, areas to this. This is purely about your experience of working within the trust, and it will help to challenge like negativity and cynicism and help to change things and make sort of daily life better for staff and patients.
So I was part of the planning stage of the discovery phase of changing culture, changing things for the better. It is because of my great passion for staff engagement and really making staff feel that they are part of this journey.
The Culture Change programme has been absolutely amazing to be involved in. I've seen so much development from myself, the team and everyone.
I'm a patient and volunteer, and I was part of various focus groups. I was a part of a team, and we interviewed the board, various members of the board. I, as a patient, had an opportunity of actually asking questions of future plans, which I, as a patient, want to know exactly how my journey is going to continue as a good journey. At the end of the day, I am a patient of this trust. One of the reasons why I joined this group, because I felt that I will have a platform to point out my concern, my anxiety, like all the other patients who also go through the same thing. And also for me to understand that what's it like to be other side, other half of my journey.
My experience with focus groups have been very positive. We've delivered the focus groups and we've gone out and done trolley dashes as well. At the start, we didn't have many people coming to the focus groups and we wanted to get that word out a bit more across the trust. In my particular division, we had lots of staff that was on the shop floor that weren't very enthusiastic about going to the focus groups. So what we did was with the part of the culture change team, I asked members, because I didn't want to do it in my own area, we asked members of the culture change team to go down and they set up some separate focus groups and staff had the chance then to drop in at the end of a shift, drop in at the start of the shift, have a general informal chat.
So we communicated out about focus group participation through our staff intranet. There was also iNews, which is an e-bulletin that goes out every week. In addition to that, everybody who was on the change team actually went back to their departments and encouraged as much of their workforce to attend one of the focus groups as possible.
One thing I would say for people doing focus groups is to go out and get people. Don't rely on them coming to you, because the focus groups we did, I've been involved with so many focus groups, I've actually lost count. Some of them we had nobody attend, some of them we had 1 person attend. When the chief executive was involved, we had quite a few. We had probably 60 people attend. But then we realised that we needed to look at things and do things slightly differently. So we went out and we went to people's place of work, be that wards, estates and facilities, labs, and we found it was really, really a benefit to go and get them. And we found the quality of the data that we got from people was far richer going out into their environment. Perhaps they felt a little bit more comfortable in their own environment.
I worked within the focus groups, which was really, really interesting. What we learned quite quickly was the importance of going out to people in the places where they worked. We did try and set up some groups where people came to us, but the nature of National Health Services is that people are busy in their own places, and so it was really important that we went out to them. Something else that we did was going into the hard reach areas. So I'm talking about administration officers, and talked to staff whilst they very kindly broke from what they were doing and then spent some time talking with us. We also went into laboratories and other areas where, again, the staff very kindly, supported by their management team, took a break from what they were doing and were able to share very openly their experience of working in this particular trust.
We did trolley dashes, sweet fruit, attracting people. We'd got trolleys with the decorations, so getting out there, really valuable.
So on the actual day of the focus groups, when we were carrying them out, we always had 2 of the change team running the focus groups, and that worked really, really well. One person would actually sort of lead and help direct and move conversations along, whilst the other one actually was responsible for the scribing, and that was actually the best sort of formula that we found.
So what I've done in the division is I helped set up focus groups of educators, clinical staff, non-clinical staff, between 8 to 10 people, and colleagues from the change team facilitated the focus group discussions. The way we run the focus groups is that when the staff come in, we sat them down, made them feel comfortable, offered them if they wanted a drink, and everybody seemed to bring some cake. All the culture team members, cake seems to be the winner, and get people talking. Try to have a general chat with people to put them at ease. And then when we just started talking in general, we had already decided who within the team would be scribing, who'd be writing all the information down, who'd be then supporting and prompting. We'd had all the questions that we wanted to ask laminated on the table. We didn't have to actually answer those questions in order. We said to the teams that come into the focus groups, how would you like to take that? Which questions would you like to answer? And trying to draw them in that way. So they felt a bit like they could pick and choose a little bit.
I think most of us who were in the change team were really aware of what a powerful influence that culture has on a workforce, and we were probably the type of people who were very active about staff engagement, very, pro champions of staff engagement as well. You felt like you were doing something very positive, you were doing something to help to improve and build on the current culture within the organisation. It was very empowering and it was very morale raising.
I think it was very important that they felt that they were listened to, because I think that sometimes, especially with feedback and surveys before, they didn't feel that this was being passed on or being actioned at all, and this time I think they felt we are actually making an impact this time and things are going to change.
What was really important was hearing all of the good things that are happening, because we acknowledge in a very large organisation that at times there can be areas of need for more attention, but there's also lots of areas where there's complete excellence, and hearing about the excellence also gave us that opportunity to share that excellence, to acknowledge where it was, understand more about it, and then actually share that as well.
So even when we didn't have a lot of staff at the focus groups, the quality was still very good, because within the smaller groups as well, people really opened up to how it was in their area. They shared with us lots of good practice, which we tried to draw out of them, because everything isn't bad here. So we tried to do that. And by drawing out all the good information, and then that helped them then to talk about things that weren't quite so positive and things that they felt that weren't quite right within their teams. And we gained really good, lots of quality data from that for us to be able to look at.
Because staff don't feel intimidated that there is a senior member of staff in the division during the discussion. And we want it to be real and authentic in terms of our staff telling their stories on how they feel, how they integrate in the team and in the wider division. So that was extremely transformational. People started to engage more in shifting their views and started to ask questions, what can I do to be part of this journey? And I think it is very important for us to not only encourage our staff or us leaders to listen to our staff, but encourage and enable our staff to say something and to do something. And I think changing cultures, changing things for the better is what is needed and something that we must do. But of course, the challenge remains. How can we make it happen? And I think we can. I think we can do this if we are together and if the staff are fully engaged and they are part of this transformational journey.
So in my experience, I felt that some people were a little bit reserved in coming forward, but I think eventually, once the word was getting out, that we was obviously supplying these feedback sessions and going to other departments if they couldn't get to us, for instance, on weekends and evenings, that helped them to put their point across of what they were trying to say, whether it was a really good experience or something that they felt that needed more improvement on.